Gonna have a song tonight.
Yes. I figured there'd be a way to make this a little more memorable. But thank you, Mayor Moore. Jamie Von Trapp, 6301 River Drive, Flower Mound. And I am here to call out the racism against my favorite WNBA player, Caitlin Clark. Like, she is getting assaulted every day in the WNBA, and Angel Reese won't stop bullying her, and the WNBA is doing nothing about it. So, and let's be honest, us white people, we're not that good at basketball. Like men, we have Larry Bird, Grayson Allen, half of Lonzo Ball, and that's it. So the old WNBA fans, all 37 of them, they don't know how to handle a white girl from Iowa absolutely dominating. And they hate that the reason I'm watching is because of Caitlin Clark. It's the last time I watched girls basketball was 2015 when Princeton women's basketball went undefeated. But anyway, ESPN personalities like racist Ryan Clark and hot take machine Emmanuel Acho keep piling on Caitlin for no reason. Emmanuel Acho might actually be brain damaged, so I'll withhold judgment on that. But thank God for people like Dave Portnoy and Jason Whitlock, because they use their platforms to defend Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese and the bullying of the WNBA. And the reason I'm here, I only have 43 TikTok followers, so this is the only platform I can do to help my girl, Caitlin Clark. And like I said, the way to remember this, like you get a lot of speeches, but I wrote a 1-minute song about Caitlin Clark. It's any Chapel Roan fans in here? It's to the tune of Hot to Go. It's called Angel Reese Has Got to Go. Caitlin Clark is my queen, best player that I've ever seen. Look at Angel Reese's face. She looks like Sid from my Sage, Sid from my Sage. G-O-T-T-O-G-O. Angel Reese has got to go. Please leave Caitlin Clark alone. Angel Reese just really blows. Jason Whitlock was right. Ryan Clark sucks on ice, and Caitlin drops logo threes, and Angel misses layups from 2 feet. G-O-T-T-O-G-O. Angel Reese has got to go. Caitlin Clark, you are the show. Angel Reese, you are a horrific basketball player. See, you thought you got nervous there. Anyways, but what I'm saying is, please leave Caitlin Clark alone. Caitlin, if you see this, I got you. And Angel, if you see this, if you don't stop bullying Caitlin Clark, I'm going to start tweeting mean things like your name should be Devil Reese instead of Angel Reese. But yes, and thank you, Mayor Moore. You're the best mayor in Texas. And thank God for people like Jason Whitlock and Dave Portnoy and me. So thank you for my, and I'll yield my time.
Okay.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great episode this evening. We got the Congresswoman from Colorado on the show, Lauren Boebert, and we have Rudy Ventura fresh off his appearance on Kill Tony. But before we even get to Rudy, you see him, our El Salvadoran gangster. Angel Reese on the cover of the Reese's box, and I don't know if you can see that 50% off. So she does suck. Good job, Jimmy. Okay, but that speech was horrible. I don't even want to get into it. I want to welcome on one of our greatest guests. She's arguably the most attractive woman on Capitol Hill. We welcome on the one, the only Congresswoman from Colorado, Lauren Boebert. Lauren, how are you doing, Congresswoman?
Alex, I am fantastic. It's wonderful to be on with you finally.
I know, it really is. I've been wanting to speak to you for so long. You've always been so nice, and I mean this. You're one of the few people that are not afraid to be outspoken. And I feel like sometimes because you're an attractive woman, people are like, oh, they try to put you in a box. But you're actually one of the most, you have more balls than most of the men on Capitol Hill, and I mean that with all due respect. So is it hard, Lauren, to be outspoken like you are?
No, it's not hard at all. I'm a mom of 4 boys, and I think it comes with that kind of like a littler, smaller person mentality, right? It's kind of like a Chihuahua instinct. Like you have to be very forceful and adamant, and I guess maybe a little naggy and nappy. nippy, if you will. But there's a lot to do to kind of get your point across when I guess you're a smaller person, if you will. But this is also Washington, D.C., and nothing here happens without force. So if you are passive and mild and meek and just want to be a part of the team and want leadership to appreciate you, well, then you're not going to get very far unless you're getting like kind of some leadership welfare bills that they pass along to you and say, hey, we're going to make sure this passes on your behalf. And don't worry, you'll be recognized as an amazing, efficient member of Congress because you passed what we said you can pass. So I kind of go in a different lane and do what the American people sent me here to do. And that's really to change the way Washington, D.C. operates as a whole, because everyone can agree Congress is broken. This place sucks. You cannot run the House of Representatives like a business. Or, I guess if we did run it like a business, it would possibly succeed. But you can't run a business like Congress, or it would ultimately fail, or you would need a government bailout from the taxpayers' expense.
Okay, and Congresswoman, you and I both love Donald Trump. We love Donald Trump, but I saw Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who actually have an office in her district, believe it or not, and she was mad, but she did have a point. She said, Donald Trump has to ask me to go to war. But did she have a point? I mean, isn't that your job, though? It was Donald Trump right, and I'm happy that he did. I'm not anti-Trump, but I'm saying, did she have a point that he should have spoken to you and Jasmine Crockett before he made a decision to start this war with Iran, potentially?
Well, I'm never going to call up the president of the United States and say, you must talk to me and Jasmine Crockett. But here's the deal. I didn't hear Democrats wailing over Barack Obama dropping bombs during his administration. There was certainly something that he put American lives at risk. We had our soldiers overseas dying, and he did nothing to actually bring peace. Now, President Trump made a campaign promise that said peace through strength. Well, guess what? You have to show some strength to have peace. And that's exactly what President Trump did. He showed up in Iran in a stealth form and took out these uranium sites where they have enriched uranium and ended the possibility of Iran having nukes. Something that 2 weeks ago, CNN was saying, well, they're nowhere close to having any nukes. And now they're like, oh, well, they're only months away, even after we went in with our B-2 bombers. So President Trump did exactly what he should have done. He has said that he has come to an end of a 12-day war. Might be the only thing that I disagree with him on, because I don't think this was a 12-day war. I think it took him 12 days to end decades long of a war that was going on in the Middle East. And President Trump said, enough is enough. We're going to make sure that Iran does not have nukes, that they are not enriching uranium beyond a civil level. And this is it. Now, President Trump is not happy that some of the agreements have been violated so quickly. And I think that folks are listening and that will be recognized. But President Trump brought an end to this in 12 days. Now, what happens beyond this is between Israel and Iran. And President Trump did everything that he was supposed to do. And he didn't need Jasmine's permission to do it.
No, he didn't. I was kind of saying that facetiously, but that video is so funny. She looks like she needs to, she's been eating at the Congress commissary a lot. But, okay, real quick.
She's a sophomore. I would call it the freshman 20. They try to wine and dine you and get you to all the fancy places out here. I even got it my freshman year a little bit, and I wasn't going to everything I was invited to.
You owned a restaurant, so obviously you could have eaten all the food you want. I'm just saying, so you obviously don't have an eating problem, though.
For sure.
I mean, you could have eaten like a cow. You don't. You stay in shape, and I respect that. Okay, now, but real quick, though, when we talk about Donald Trump, I love what he's doing I love him. I love his power. But this is a hard question. Is Benjamin Netanyahu going to listen to Donald Trump? I mean, Lauren, because that's where it really comes down to. And I know that, obviously, I'm empathetic. I believe in Israel's right to, exist 100%, and they are in a tough position. But, is Benjamin Netanyahu really scared of Trump? I almost get the impression there's this ceasefire that he's not. But am I wrong, Congresswoman?
I hope you're wrong. So President Trump, I think, has shown himself as the leader of the world. Yeah. That is exactly the position that America has set up our president to be. And President Trump is the one to fill that role more than any other. So I certainly hope that Bibi listens to President Trump and heeds his warnings, because Israel knows that they need us as an ally. Certainly, we've heard for decades, well, we are fighting your war without your troops. You don't have your boots on the ground, so send us your money and fund our war, and we'll take care of it for you. But this is truly our greatest ally in the Middle East, and we want to have a good relationship. So if we want to continue that good relationship, then there has to be agreement from our president, President Donald Trump, and with Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, this is paramount. But also, of course, as a Christian, certainly I support Israel and of course believe in their right to exist. I'm for a one-state solution, and that is Israel. President Trump has done more for Israel than any other president. Many have talked about it. And he's the one that actually has executed in his first administration, and even now, in ensuring that Iran does not have nuclear power, these nukes that they could threaten the entire world with, and certainly Israel. And so I hope that he does listen, and I'm optimistic.
Well, Congresswoman, I'm happy you said that. And you're from the great state of Colorado. Such a great state. Literally is one of the best states in the whole entire country. Everybody needs to go spend some time in that great state. But in Texas, we've been having this marijuana issue where Governor Abbott just... He ended up vetoing the state bill that would eliminate even what we have is Delta 9 here in Texas, so now they can still have that. Do you think legal marijuana, has that been better for the state of California, in your opinion? Because I'm of the opinion if weed's legal, if alcohol is legal, then marijuana should be legal. But where do you stand? Do you think that was a good decision by Abbott to veto that personally?
So we've had the Delta 8 discussion in Colorado for sure, and obviously recreational marijuana is legal. It started with medicinal, and you almost rightly called us California. We're slowly becoming California. But here's the thing. I haven't seen it actually do anything better for our state. Even our state laws say that the taxes for the marijuana use are supposed to go towards roads and new school developments. And we have a lot of failing schools, infrastructure, and there's nothing that's going there. We have billions and billions of dollars, tens of billions, maybe even hundreds of billions of dollars that we cannot account for in Colorado from the marijuana taxes. And it hasn't proved to be beneficial. We had a lot of folks move in because we were the first state to legalize recreational marijuana. And those folks have brought in with them bad policy because they think it's going to give them more weed, more mushrooms, more psychedelics, whatever it may be, whatever it's going to lead to. But marijuana certainly has been the gateway drug in Colorado. I get it. There's adults that use it responsibly, but it is getting in the hands of our kids, and it's really making for a more unproductive society at large. And unfortunately, it brings more liberal policies with it as well. A lot of the Californians who are coming to Colorado, they've priced themselves out of their homes in California. They voted for all the increased taxes, all the welfare, all the programs. Let's take care of all of these homeless and illegal aliens. And now we have to pay for it, can't afford it. So let's move to Colorado because it's almost just the same. We have the mountains, we have a little bit of water there, we don't have an ocean, but it's beautiful. And they come there, lower taxes, and they bring with them the same horrible policies. So now it's leading to more impacts on our youth when it comes to gender affirmation for our children, saying that states can take custody of your children if you don't provide gender affirming care, or if you're dead naming them. And so it's become very extreme. So all of those woke policies, unfortunately, have followed the marijuana policy. Colorado used to be a red state, and I don't think we can say that it is anymore.
No, and it's sad that it has gone blue. But listen, I'm not a Boy Scout. I like to do some crazy stuff, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. So let me ask you a hard question, though. Are we going to talk
about cloud seeding?
No, well, we know cloud seeding. We know that. I think you guys they were just on Congress talking about, how that they can manipulate the weather. But no, I want to get into cloud seeding. But this is a hard question. You're going to be like, Alex, you're an idiot. But I do believe this. Nuclear weapons, and you can see the bombs that we just dropped. They're called the bunker busters. I think we dropped 14 of them. They're made by Boeing. They're roughly literally like $500 million. They're like $400 to $500 million, I think, per bomb. I think nuclear weapons are a lie, and that we have big bombs. But I think that they lie about nuclear weapons. Am I insane? Is that crazy? Is it tinfoil hat? Am I insane? Because listen to this. This is also why I believe it.
Are you talking about like the videos where they show the car?
Yes! Lauren, so I'm not crazy. I'm not that crazy. Why is the car missing, Lauren? Watch it. You're in Congress. That's the official thing. Find out where that car is and why it's missing, Lauren.
I've seen it. I've seen it, and I get it. Actually, so I was just somewhere where they were showing missiles being launched from a submarine. I was actually really excited because I was on a part of a tour where they were talking about missiles being launched from submarines. I'm like, all right, I could get on board with submarines. Like, let's go. And then they showed a very high def video of the missile exploding from the submarine. I was like, wow, you're really close. The missile, how'd your video make it?
Yeah. How does it say? And now with the AI, and this is no disrespect to Israel, but they said that they have a bomb. I feel like they would use it if they had one. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying maybe.
No. I do believe that there is such a thing. I also believe that our government has lied to us in the past about many things. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm not saying if there was a car or there wasn't a car. If anybody sees the video, you know, right? If you know, you know. But I do believe that there was a threat of Iran having capabilities of producing severe damage. And I'm not denying that by any means. But, you know, I wasn't alive back then, so I don't know. I wasn't alive either when we went to the moon.
And that was fake too. Thank you. No, time out, Congresswoman. Now we really can talk. Now we're vibing.
Oh,
First
God,
of all,
here we go. Denver Post, ready for this headline?
Real quick, 1969 through 1972, the Apollo moon missions. They were able to go through the Van Allen radiation belt. But let me just tell you, right now, we have the International Space Station. That is roughly 200...
It's not beyond the Van Allen radiation belt. It's within it.
The moon is past the Van Allen radiation belt.
No. The International
There's a hole
Space
in it. Yeah. You're right. No, the International.
Yeah.
So the International Space Station is roughly 200 miles from the surface of Earth. Now the moon is roughly 257,000 miles away. So this is 100 times the distance. Or what is 200 divided by 250? Yeah, about what is it? Whatever that is. It's 1,000 times the distance from the
Baby,
moon.
you got a GED. We don't need numbers.
I don't need. Yeah, this isn't a financial seminar. My point is, we were able to go to the moon 1,000 times farther in 1969, but the current technology that we have, we cannot go past low Earth orbit. Even Barack Obama said that, and that is the International Space Station. And half the time, we can't even go to the damn International Space Station because Joe Biden doesn't want to do auto pin and give him, an evacuation right out of there. So, I think the moon landing's provably false. Am I smoking too much Delta 9, Congresswoman?
You know, Alex, that's an interesting concept, and maybe we could have a classified briefing at some point. But I
would love that.
Certainly, I love to explore all the different things. You know, Tucker Carlson once thought that Building 7 just collapsed, and now he says emphatically that he was a part of the propaganda that led to the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Things change, facts change. That's why I love Jesus. I love the Bible because that is truth and that is everlasting. And that is something that will never change. God is not a liar, but, there is a father of lies, and the Bible talks all about him. And unfortunately, we've seen time and time again where politicians are in office and deceive the American public. And so, I don't know, have we been beyond the Van Allen radiation belt? Maybe.
I like that.
If so, I would like to know why it's taken so long to get back through it again. But here we are, and we'll see what Artemis and the Orion spacecraft have to do when they try to take a crewed spaceship back out there in just a year or two.
Well, I just was at the Johnson Space Center doing a tour. It was about $60, but it's still worth it. And the Artemis mission looks like a freaking, Armageddon. Looks like a movie set. But listen, we'll get into that.
Listen, Alex, I'm sorry, you can't do this to me. I just toured some stuff, and I'm not going to take the bait.
No, because NASA will end up like Gus Grissom, who was the original person that was supposed to go to the moon, and actually hung a lemon on the lunar lander. If you look up Gus Grissom, but no, I get it, Congressman. You're very popular. You don't need to be like me, a total tinfoil hat wearing. You've given us enough grace, and you've answered these questions very professionally, and I really mean and respect that you've given actual real answers to these hard questions. But now we talk about government transparency, this and that. Everybody's been getting mad about the Epstein stuff. I'm kind of the opinion, what are we going to see? Like actual physical sexual assault? We're not going to see that. I don't want to see that. What is there to see? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is there really even to see? That's where I'm kind of feel like we already know.
Anything anybody wants to see is the list. We want to see the list, period. I don't care what names are on it. I want to see what names are on it and why. So it's not a bipartisan issue. It is a bipartisan issue. And so I want to see what these folks were doing with Epstein. And I don't know. I mean, maybe the past administration has done away with the files. Or maybe there's thousands and thousands of hours of video that they're going through, like we have heard as well. I certainly want these released. President Trump has done a great job of declassifying certain information, but also where has this information been in decades? Like through what hands has this information gone through when it comes to Martin Luther King Jr., when it comes to RFK and JFK. So there's still the element of, yes, we have a government that we should always question, right?
Yeah.
I'm a part of this system and I question it daily. Even within my own party, there's things that we are doing. I mean, look at the House of Representatives. We are a majority rule self-governing body. That means whatever party is in the majority, we make up the rules. In fact, every day, if anybody watches C-SPAN on a regular session day when we're passing legislation, every day we actually change the rules of the House of Representatives to pass the bill that we're going to vote on. So just to bring that bill to the floor, we have a vote on the rule because we're changing the rules. And so in all of this, it's fluid, and you should always question what is going on and seek truth. Now, that doesn't mean to be a crazy conspiracist and say that there's like something behind every single door, but I don't trust the hands that this information has gone through over decades when you're talking about all these declassified files now that have been classified, or even the Epstein files. You never know what has been removed or potentially even added. And so it's really difficult to find the absolute truth when there's been so many years of darkness that this information has been hidden in.
I know it is a complicated situation, and I think any transparency is good, but, you know, this is very sensitive stuff, so it's not going to just be like, oh, here's 1,000 images of whatever you guys want to see. So I'm hoping...
Right, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not what we expect. But, okay, real quick, though, Congresswoman, this is the problem. We got a lot of these illegal immigrants, and I actually have one right now. Can you show Rudy? This is Rudy Ventura. Yeah, we have one. He have one. He actually helps, you know, cut my grass and stuff. Terrible. He's terrible at it. But Rudy, real quick, and I told him.
He might be.
Is he legal? Are you legal? Rudy doesn't even know if he's legal. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's not. You know, okay, but real quick, Congresswoman, this is a real thing. First of all, before he came on the show, I said, hey, we're having this big guest. I want you to just be quiet because he doesn't know anything about politics. So, Congresswoman, I want you to ask him the most basic.
Wait, have we been talking about politics? You've been talking about moon landings and all. We haven't got to politics yet.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. But what I'm saying, I just want to ask him, like, hey, Rudy, how about this? In what city is Capitol Hill in? In what city is Capitol Hill in?
Springfield?
No, be for real. Be for real. The Congresswoman.
Capital spell with an A or an O?
Okay, well, you know what I mean. The one that is in the.
Yeah, which one?
Okay,
No,
okay. How about this? Time out.
answer.
What's the capital of America? What is the capital of the United States of America?
Washington, D.C.
Okay, he knows that. Okay, that's good. So we have a kind of a baseline. He knows that it's Washington D.C. Now, Congresswoman, will you ask him just maybe who is the vice president? I'll give you one more example. Let's see if he knows this one.
What happened in 1803?
Don't ask me about 1803. Okay. Who is the vice president of the United States of America?
Right now?
Yes.
Dick Cheney.
Oh, Lord.
That's what we're dealing with.
Vance hasn't shot anyone.
I know. This is what, Rudy, come on. You don't know it's J.D. Vance, who works very close with this Congresswoman, who actually limits
that's that
transgenders and women's sports and all.
That's
all right, stop
funny.
showing Rudy. I knew that he was going to fail that test. Okay, Congresswoman, we only have you for a couple more minutes. Let's talk about that trans stuff. I get so mad at you dang politicians, specifically you, Congresswoman. You're trying to outlaw transgenders and women's sports. Let me tell you something, smarty pants. We can gamble on these transgenders and win money, Congresswoman. Like Leah Thomas, I won thousands of dollars. I almost turned draft kings into draft queens. I was so successful. So why are we going to outlaw transgenders when we can gamble on them and potentially fix the national debt?
All right, listen. If Jokic goes to the WNBA,
Okay.
he could be what's her name? Is it Caitlin Collins? Is that her name? That's the girl's always getting beat up.
Yes.
He could be her bodyguard if he identifies as a woman. I'll settle for that one. If he's gonna go in and run point for her, whatever y'all call it, I don't know sports.
Point. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but see, we would like that. See, I would like it if
I know
Shaq.
sports. Like your friend knows Washington D.C. and our American history here.
Well,
So,
you have one of the best players, Jokic. But imagine
if Jokic is going to go in there and be her bodyguard, I'll let him identify as a woman. But no, I don't think it's very fair. You know, I have 4 boys, and I'm not going to put them up against a bunch of women. But you know, if you want to just make money off of us, I guess go for it. It's better than OnlyFans.
well, it is better than OnlyFans, but this is what pisses me off the most about it is that it's, and I say this all the time, it's a broken record, but it's an asymmetrical problem. It only affects women. There's no woman that has transitioned to a man and dominated men's sports. So it's women are the only one that are being affected. So I don't understand how they're not other women. And there
Well,
are.
it turns out a liberal's world is a man's world. Right? You had the feminist movement come out from liberalism, and they were trying to equalize women. We are not made equal. We are equal under the Constitution, equal under the law, but we are not created equal. And so you had liberals saying a woman can do everything that a man can do. And sure, there's some job titles that we could have. I'm a member of Congress. That was predominantly for men. But when it comes to physicality, it's not the same. Biology is not the same. And so liberals now just say, hey, men, if you want to leg up, sorry, white men, we disenfranchised you by all of our other woke nonsense and trying to prop up different minorities for different reasons instead of saying they actually have the quality to do a good job. And now you white men, we put you in a different box and you need to get back to the top. So just put on some lipstick and a skirt and some heels. We'll call you a woman and you could rise to the top once again.
Ridiculous how they just get to be a superstar. It's like Rachel Levine. Okay, now I want to ask you about my personal friend Joe Exotic from the hit series Tiger King on Netflix. You know, he's asking for a pardon. I've sent Alex Brusowitz messages. I've sent Laura Trump messages. I've sent Ed Martin messages. I might have messaged you about it. Why is it so hard to get him out of jail? This is what. Let me just make my argument. This is why.
Is he innocent?
Even if he's not, listen, this is my argument. Even if he's not, let's say he's guilty.
Okay.
Let's say he's guilty. Well, because I almost went to law school, pre-law for 1 semester, and this is how I do this.
I almost graduated high school. That's great.
There you go. See, we don't even need. I'm sick, and you and Rudy should both share that. You guys both dropped out in 11th grade. Okay, real quick. This is how I know. The Constitution says no cruel and unusual punishment. Tiger King, Joe Maniscalco, or whatever, I don't know how to say his name. I always forget how to say his last name, was arrested, and then after being arrested became the most popular person on Netflix, which is like the biggest TV channel. So
The greatest unifier we've ever known.
the biggest unifier during the pandemic when the country was the weakest, when we were the most divided, we had the one unifier.
I was so hooked. I didn't even sit on the sofa. I sat on the coffee table. I couldn't make it to the sofa. I'm like, what am I watching?
It's that good.
It was pretty amazing.
And think about this, though. Congresswoman, you become the #1 hit show and you're locked up in jail. So you don't even get to use it in your criminal defense. You don't get to use it for any good that you might do out in the community. You know, I just feel that is cruel because if we really do have a criminal justice system, what is the whole basis of America? It's about second chances, about, hey, you make a mistake, you get back up. That's the American dream. That's the American way. And by keeping him in jail, I think that is anti-American. I think it's cruel and unusual, and I mean that.
Well, I think President Trump, Ed Martin, and the Pardon Czar team certainly need to look into that and see because, I mean, if allegedly, or I guess what he's convicted of, right, plotting someone's death is considered, you make a mistake and you just get to
Congresswoman, everybody says, I want to kill them. I want to do that. I mean, come on.
Nobody hires somebody to do it.
But that guy was a crackhead. He gave him 3,000.
Let's see what President Trump wants to do. I haven't read into the actual charges. I've watched the show, certainly. So what he was actually convicted of, put that before the pardon team, and I'm sure they'll see this and have conversations with me and many others. Joe Exotic has reached out to me, or at least his team has in the past, and other members of Congress for sure. And like I said, he was a fantastic unifier. And Alex, I don't know if you've been offered any tigers to make this proposition to make this.
I have a bunch of
request.
tigers. No, I have in Hillsborough, Texas. I have an illegal tiger farm. So,
No, I think truly I enjoyed the heart and sentiment of Joe, and since he's been in prison, his outreach and even him wanting to run against President Trump while in prison is certainly a part of the American grit and spirit. But we'll see what the pardon team says and keep putting in words for him.
Well, if Trump can give RFK a job, he can give his opponent, Joe Exotic, I think, a pardon. Okay.
Hey, listen, President Trump is a unifier. Look, that's something that CNN tries to attack him on all the time. And look how many people have ran against him for president of the United States that are now in his cabinet. It's truly incredible. The people who have said things about him negatively, and he has said, you know what, I see your talent that is far greater than any negative thing you may have said or felt about me. And you are a true asset to this country. So I'm so proud of the team that he has put together in this administration.
Okay, then we only got you. We're about to let you go, though. Is the future bright? I know that sounds crazy, but here at the Blaze, it feels like we're winning. We talk about that, right? And sometimes when you feel like you're winning, you can kind of get lazy and complacent. Are we getting complacent in the culture war now that Trump is in power? Because it kind of feels like there's a lot of infighting, and maybe now because we're winning, we have to pick on each other. And you know that we have a uniparty. You know that you're attacked by your own people all the time. So, are we in the right direction? Are things going good, or are we going to face some hurdles in the near future, in your opinion, Congresswoman?
Alex, I feel like a fat guy in a barbed wire fence because I have a point here and a point there for everything that you just said here. Yeah. But I do believe that the future is bright, first of all. However, we've got to stay vigilant. We cannot become apathetic. And we can't draw back. And so now is the time to really press in and show the world why our policies won. We need to be enforcing and codifying our policies. President Trump is doing a great job. I can't say that for Congress as a whole. We haven't done a lot to actually try to codify what he's doing through executive orders and other things. And so we have got to do more in the House, or the American public will be really disconnected from the House and say they aren't doing anything. What's the point of me voting? And we have a midterm election where President Trump is not going to be at the top of the ticket. I'm sure he's going to be influential in campaigns, but his name is not on the ballot. And that does matter, especially in states like Colorado. So we have got to be vigilant and aggressive and deliver as much as we can on the promises that we have made. I'm here because politicians were saying one thing and governing another way. I want to do everything that I promised on the campaign trail. And unfortunately, the way Washington, D.C. works, a lot of the leadership procedures prevent us from passing really good bills. Or we hear people say, oh, well, the Senate will never pass it, so we're not going to do anything in the House. Well, I wasn't elected to the Senate. I was elected to the House of Representatives, and we need to do our job here. So in everything we need to do, whether it's the culture wars, men and women's sports, transgender issues, whatever it may be, President Trump won on securing the border, growing an economy, regaining our energy independence, becoming energy dominant. And we need to be passing legislation and communicating that message to the American people when it comes to fruition. He's already has the southern border 99.999% secure, and it's only going to get better. We are already seeing deportations, and I want to see more deportations, mass deportations. I want our energy sector to boom, and I want President Trump's promises to ring true throughout the midterm election so he can continue his 4 years as the 47th president of the United States and be successful at it.
And he was actually the 45th and 47th president, which is kind of weird. He's a 9/11 president. But okay, now right, that was just a weird, that's a cultic. But now we got to let you go. But before you go, how can people find you and support you? What's the best way that they can support you in upcoming campaigns, Congresswoman?
Yes, well, in upcoming campaigns, those small dollar donations are so important. $5, $10, $17, whatever you want to put in goes a long way. That's laurenforfreedom.com, F-O-R, forfreedom.com. And you could donate there and contribute to our campaign, or follow me on X at Lauren Boebert.
Okay, and then last thing, this is the last question. You get a lot of flack. You're one of the most attractive people on Capitol Hill, and you're an alpha woman, mother of 4 kids. How is it dating? Be honest. You know, as a congresswoman, people, this should be a movie. You should have a reality TV show. We should have the hot congresswoman of Capitol Hill. So can you tell us a little bit about your love life? That's the last question, I swear. What is the love life like, Congresswoman?
Let me tell you, I have my grandson here on Capitol Hill with me this week, and that is the love of my life. I have 4 sons and a 2-year-old grandson, and you know, there's not a lot of time for anything serious in between when you're trying to save the country and raise 4 boys to be men before liberals teach them to be women, and then of course shower my grandson with all the love he can handle.
And then the last thing, this is the thing. So you got canceled by a church for going to a satanic play. Congresswoman, what is it? So you went to, what is it? BeetleJuice. Is that what it is? You went to a satanic play, and then what happened, Congresswoman?
I haven't heard it characterized that way, but here's the deal.
Is this the play you went to? Is this a guy? Are you dating BeetleJuice, Congresswoman? Why is it such a controversy that you're dating a dead man? Is that
Actually,
a big deal?
You know, if I were, I might not have gotten in trouble. I would have been backstage, and there was no cameras back there. But you know, I guess when it comes to that scenario, that's been over. What was that, 2 years ago? And so moving on.
Well, we love you,
anyway,
Congresswoman.
BeetleJuice was my favorite as a child, and I took my boys when BeetleJuice 2 came out, and it was a wonderful time. And I'm not going to live my life in shame, but great costume. I think I would prefer a little green in the hair.
Yeah,
maybe
you idiot, the BeetleJuice, you dummy.
Yeah.
Okay, Congresswoman, thank you so much, and you really are kicking ass. Keep it up, and like I said, if there's anything that we can ever do to help you or support you, keep it up, because you have more cojones.
Well, you know, when the Denver Post, you know, it sends me a tinfoil hat, you know, we could say how much fun we had in jest on this interview.
Yes, we had, and that's what the other thing is. Congressman, you actually have a sense of humor. A lot of these other politicians, even much lower than you, that aren't on Capitol Hill, that are at these city council meetings, they act so self-important, and I think that's what resonates with your voters and your constituents, is that you are a mom.
Yeah, you can't take yourself too seriously. And honestly, I wish I could post half of the BeetleJuice jokes that I say about myself every day.
Well, we love it. We'll share it. You're the best. All right, everybody go support Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. You're the best. All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Jimmy, she didn't get mad. Thank God. Okay, she had a good sense of humor.
No, she was laughing.
She's awesome. Okay, now we got to get to our next victim.
Let's do the ad read real quick
yes,
to get out of the way.
All right, guys, you've heard us talk about this, and for good reason. Share the Arrows is one of the most powerful women's events happening this year, and it's hosted by Blaze TV's own Allie Beth Stuckey. It's happening October 11th in Dallas, Texas. And if there's a woman in your life who's been craving real encouragement and biblical truth, your wife, your daughter, your sister, this is for her. It's a full day of worship, teaching, and powerful conversation with bold women like Jinger Duggar, Vuala, Elisa Childers, Katie Foss, Taylor Dukes, and more. Worship will be led by Francesca Battistelli. I hope I'm saying that right. I think so.
That's correct.
We love you, Francesca. Big fan of Francesca. I'm not a big fan of reading. It's going to be something special. We all know how loud the culture can get. This is the chance to push, pause, lean into the truth, and get recentered in purpose. Send someone you love or go yourself. Tickets and details are at sharethearrows.com. And yes, VIP options are still available. sharethearrows.com. All right, so that was pretty good, Rudy. What did you think? Did you learn anything by talking to a real person in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. We got rid of the uranium, and
You learned something. You knew about the uranium. You didn't know about the uranium before this.
I can go tell all my homies about it.
Yes, you do. Actually, you should start selling. If you're a uranium dealer, I know some Iranian guys that'll pay a lot of money for it right now.
You know where to get it from?
No, if you know where to get it, you're the drug dealer. Aren't you the one that knows how to get the bad stuff?
I don't think that's a drug.
Well, it's worth more than drugs. Okay, we want to have Rudy on, guys. Do you recognize this Rudy, this El Salvadorian stud right here? If you do recognize him, it's probably because you recently saw him on world-famous Netflix and YouTube #1 podcast, Kill Tony, starring Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband. Recently, there was an episode with David Lucas, friend of the show, friend of mine, friend of Rudy's, and he was the guest on the show. And Rudy got his name called.
Yeah.
So Rudy, before we watch this clip, how do you think you did? Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
I think my minute was it fucked up because of certain things. I think I just froze up. I was real nervous.
So you're saying you fucked up? Is that what you're saying?
I think the minute was shit, but I think the interview was what saved my ass.
Look at you're getting kind of emotional right now. Are you emotional about it?
Yeah, super emotional.
Honestly, though, you've been working really hard. You told me that the reason that you got into stand-up comedy was because you were watching Kill Tony and that you wanted to get on that stage.
Yeah.
And then you finally get on that stage and you had your one opportunity that you've been working how long for?
2 years.
You've been working 2 years straight, nonstop, and then you have your 1 minute and you went up there and talked about how bad of an alcoholic you are and how bad of a father you are.
I tried.
Did you think that that was going to relate to all the other people that are proud to be bad fathers?
It just came out.
Who's the joke for? You know what I mean? Like, is the joke for the people that had bad fathers and probably felt like they were abused their whole life and so you probably give them PTSD?
I was just going with the flow, to be honest.
I know, but you've been doing it 2 years. What is it? I love flow. I'm all about flow. I
think once that joke,
I got State Farm insurance.
the first joke that came out when I slipped up, the first joke, I didn't even want to say that joke, and then I think my whole.
So you said a joke you didn't even want to say, and I'm not trying to, beat you up because it is hard. Let's not act like it's not.
No, I just slipped out. I was like, "Fuck, that's a joke I'm barely working on."
All right, well, let's watch this. Let's just see this, guys. And I want to get the chat. Chat, are we cooked? Chat, is Rudy cooked? I want your honest opinion. So put a poll: is Rudy cooked or not? And let's play Kill Tony. Rudy's 1 minute. Then we'll play the interview.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Rudy Ventura.
Hell yeah.
Pause it real quick.
Guys.
Can you pause it? Why the hell are you wearing shorts?
It was hot as shit out there.
I know, but you know they say when you're on stage you're not supposed to wear shorts. That's like the first rule of stand-up.
Like if you're doing like an actual show.
Maybe open mic you can, but I'm not just saying that. I actually learned that too. I remember I went to a mic. This guy that was running the mic didn't let me do a spot because I had shorts on one time when I was in LA. Right. I mean, he kind of was being.
Yeah, that's a rule, but I guess like that's more. I feel like that's more of like a showcase.
So you feel like you're established enough to dress however you want, just look like you are.
I think this is just a
homeless
person.
Thing. You look like you're a homeless person, right?
Do I look homeless? I thought I looked rich.
I mean, well, you're wearing an XL shirt. You're wearing shorts. I mean,
it's to cover my beer belly.
I mean, do you think you look flossing? Are you flossed
No,
out?
I wish I would have dressed.
You dress better when you do the fucking roast battles.
Yeah, I do.
You do? You wear Jordans and jeans?
I didn't.
Where was all your I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm saying, where's all the shit you usually wear? You always wear all this shit, and now
It was just a carefree day. I woke up. I was like, let me just do my hair and get the fuck up and go.
Oh, my God. Okay, all right. So you already
signed up
started
so
the
many.
day bad because you're not dressed. Hey, Jordan Peterson, for whatever you say, you got to make your bed and get dressed nice in the morning. Isn't that what he says, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
exactly.
I'm just saying, you're supposed to look nice. You got to look the part. That's why I wear the suit.
I looked shitty.
You didn't look great.
My hair looked like shit too.
I know. Why not fucking put a comb through your hair? I mean, what you're on? This is literally going to get 1 million views. Over 1 million.
It started raining, so my hair got all fucked up.
Okay.
And I had my head on my hand.
Okay. All right. Well, let's resume the clip.
I just have some great news. I just had my first baby recently.
Pause.
Whoa, I don't know what you guys are.
So you're soaking wet right now, and you're soaking wet. Your shirt neck is stretched out like you literally look like a raccoon. You look like an El Salvadorian raccoon right now. Your hair is wet. That mic is. Just keep playing.
Clapping for. I didn't say I was gonna raise him, but I appreciate you guys for the. Shit's crazy. Shit's crazy since.
That's the punchline. I got a kid. You didn't think I was gonna raise him.
That was an intro to the joke. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a setup.
Yeah, that was a setup.
Okay, that's a setup. Now let's keep going.
I had my son, to be honest, like before I had my son, like I was a raging alcoholic, and now I'm just an alcoholic, cause I gotta go home to him after this shit, you know. Like before, I used to get real fucked up, and then I'd have to figure out, like, do I want to get fucked up with my homeboys, or do I want to get fucked up with my son? Or should I get fucked up with my son and then go see my homeboys? Like, either way, I don't want him drinking at home by himself.
See, that's kind of funny. That was kind of funny.
But,
Pause.
you know, it's crazy. A lot of people.
I fucked up right there. If you didn't notice, because this is a joke I wrote like a week ago.
That joke was funny, like I said.
Nah, but like I fucked up on the premise, the setup, which was the. Should I get fucked up with my son and then go see my homeboys, or should I get fucked up with my son and then go see my whatever the fuck I was supposed to come out? But yeah, I did not want that joke.
It's your joke. I mean,
I threw that joke away. I didn't even like it. I was like, I don't even know why the fuck I said that shit.
All right, let's keep going.
People tell me I look Indian or Arabic, and growing up, I could never tell the difference between them, to be honest. Like, they told me Indians have red dots on their forehead because of their religion, you know, they're Hindu. And Arabs do too, but it's not because of their religion. Those guys don't realize that they have one till after they're dead.
That's kind of funny.
All right, Rudy Ventura.
Okay, I was a racist. People like it. There's a lot of Nazis in that audience probably like that. So there's some white supremacists that vibed at that red dot joke.
Should have been my first joke. I don't know why the fuck that came out as my second one.
Yeah, because, like, I'm not an expert by any means, but I have a little knowledge. This is the thing. You know, when you go up there, you have one plan, then you get up there, it's like a boxing match. What is Mike Tyson? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Everybody's got a plan until you just have to say your first word, right? Then all of a sudden, it just, blah, 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 your brain starts going crazy. But if you're going to try to, I guess, make the audience like you, joking about abusing your child as your first line would probably not be the route.
Oh, lesson learned, yeah, for sure.
So,
Can't do that shit again.
no, because people are probably worried, right? They're probably like,
Yeah,
is
for
this
sure.
guy, he's all
I think it's
wet.
more like the
no, but let's go, can you show Rudy again? Let's just do a little screenshot. Like, Rudy, you're soaking wet, and you're talking about giving your son alcohol. And this is the problem. It's like the city council meeting we're going to go to tonight. It will go viral if you're believable. You actually look like you give your kid alcohol on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're a little too believable.
My girl don't let me, but yeah. Like, all right.
Look at you right there. You're soaking. So what, did you just walk across the street in the rain?
It started pouring right when I was about to walk in.
You're lucky you didn't get electrocuted on that microphone. You're so wet.
I know, bro.
They didn't have a towel backstage?
Nah, they didn't give a shit, bro. Not even a drink. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, okay, now let's watch the reaction. This is where you turned it up a notch and you redeemed
Yeah, that's why I
yourself?
feel like I did. I don't think my minute was shit. I don't know.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, yeah.
It wasn't shit.
It's straight.
Bombing's part of learning. You can learn from this.
Hey, that's my joke. Oh, at least I'm not bombing up here. That's what the joke after the punchline after the Arabic joke.
Did you use it?
I didn't have any more time. Once you hear the meow, it's over, baby.
Let's watch the reaction.
It's crazy. Rudy is actually a friend of mine. I know him very well.
Yeah, I'm his plug.
He is the plug.
But Ozempic's not working in it right now.
No, that's the fucking joke. You missed it right there.
Rudy get me all the snack foods before they come out in stores.
You try to make it seem cool.
Shouts out on my vatos.
No, but Rudy is actually a really horrible father. The night he had his... No,
Yeah, tell him about it.
Bro, about it.
he was chilling with me in Dallas. I do a roast battle up there.
E-Town.
He's in the green room. We're taking shots. And he's like, oh, yeah, my baby was just born. And I'm like, today? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, nigga, go be a fucking father.
I know, I was there.
You got that chick in the hospital by herself while you here taking shots,
I got a
bro.
dream I got to chase. She knows, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go hang out with your newborn kid after that?
Yeah, of course.
So you did shots with David Lucas, and then you went and hung
Then I
out
went
with
straight to the hospital. I had to get fucked up to watch that shit. That shit was just a little wild.
But you didn't even watch it. The kid came out when you were drinking with David, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like holding him and shit. Yeah.
Oh. You had to get drunk to look your baby in the eyes.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I was not ready for that.
Yes.
That's like looking at you right now. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Look
crazy.
at my baby. He's getting big.
It's crazy.
Jimmy, what's the number to CPS real quick? Do we have CPS?
I'll Google it.
Hold on, let me real quick. Let me try to find it. Child Protective Services.
Yeah, that's been called on us before.
They haven't called that?
Yeah, when I was little, they called it on my mom. That was a cool time.
Oh, damn, I'm sorry to bring that up. You probably, a lot of people in that audience probably had that similar thing happen to them, and you probably brought up their PTSD from when they're
Hello,
That's
you
probably why
have
they were
reached
tripping.
the Texas Abuse Hotline of the Department of Family and Protective Services. If you wish to continue in Spanish, press 2 now.
You can't call it because I don't have an address.
In
You
Espanol.
can't really go anywhere.
I'm not going to report you this time because I love you, Rudy. Strike one, you get 2 more strikes. What do you think about WNBA? Let me see. Did you see this Angel Reese?
Yeah, that's that girl.
Nate, come over here.
Eyeliner on her mustache.
Real quick, Nate, get the handheld. So I want to be able to show this because I got to show 2 things. Come here close, get a little close up. I got this Reese's Puff from Jimmy's city council speech, And if you notice, it's 50% off. That's the only reason I bought it. So they decided to take 50 off for her free throw percentage. So that's why it's 50 off. Now, I also have a reason that you are here, Nathan. What do you think about exotic snacks? Do you like exotic snacks?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I have. Come here, Nathan. Get a close-up of this. This is zero sugar Chinese pizza-flavored Pepsi. I'm not kidding. Can you see that? Can you see? Can they see how that's actually Chinese?
You get that from H Mart?
No, I got it from the place that I bought the vape for the show. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to taste this? We're gonna do the Pepsi, Diet Pepsi Chinese, and Coca-Cola Zero. We're gonna do a Pepsi Coca-Cola taste test, and we're gonna see if I can tell which is which. All right. So, Rudy, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna close my eyes. You need to mix up the sodas and hand them to me and pour them in my mouth.
How the fuck?
Hurry, Rudy, hurry. My eyes are closed. I can't see anything.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready for the first one?
Yeah.
All right.
See if I can tell the difference. Don't get on my shirt. Okay. Don't get it on my shirt. Okay, what's the next one? That.
You said, boy, I'm gonna put it to your lips.
That tastes Chinese as hell. Ew. What is? That's the Chinese one.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. So, guys, this is what it is. What would you rate this? Thank you. I got it right.
It's not that bad.
I know. Zero sugar Chinese Pepsi. I give you 6 out of 10. Okay.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Exotic taste test. We love exotic taste tests. Thank you, Chinese Pepsi. Okay. Oh my God, dude, there's soda all over me, dude.
Oh my God.
It's all over my damn phone too. What the hell, dude?
I had to get you tailored.
Rudy, babe. Oh my gosh, babe. We're gonna have to freaking go to the dry cleaner. Okay, we only have a few minutes left in the show. We got to talk about some crazy stuff.
Charleston.
Now, well, no, Charleston, kind of in a way. Actually, we're gonna talk about 6 or 7 Unk. But first, I want to go. Liver King is crashing out. Let's play SOT number 5. Liver King is under investigation by Austin police for threatening Joe Rogan's life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's crashing out really bad. Let's play SOT number 5.
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna make a quick video to weigh myself right now. In case you didn't know, I take shits on the ground. This is where I lay in the shower. I lay here on the ground. That's my enema bucket. That's my enema bucket right there. And that's what I'm about to do, is I'm gonna try and get a shit worked out. But I'm gonna weigh myself so that it's official. It's official. Here's what I weigh. Here we go. What's that weight, Sid? Can y'all see it? Wow, it weighed more than what I thought. It looks like about.
So he's doing enemas. He's sticking stuff up his ass to lose weight. I mean, what?
Liver King, 192.
Is that why gay guys are
I've been
skinny?
saying.
Yeah, I guess Liver King's gay now. Is that what this is? Is this what this clip is supposed to be?
I got a bar. Okay, real quick. P.S.
Technically not gay. 'cause
What I'm
not a
hoping
dude
is
putting
that
up his ass.
you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm gonna choke that motherfucker out, lights out. I'm gonna choke him out, and I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happens. Because like to wake up from that dream, that's a good feeling. And then anything else that you could break on me, break it on me. I hope that you won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping, because I have something actually to fight for. Actually, that's my family. I have a principle to fight for. That's
He's
what
cracked out. He's on
and-
ketamine.
oh, well, what if
thinks
he
he's gonna
actually
fight
does
Joe
what he's
Rogan.
saying?
Yeah, over what though?
What if
Why?
that would
He has a
be
Netflix
interesting?
documentary coming out.
He
Like,
doesn't ever
What do
mention
you have to
why. He
fight
just
for?
thinks he's
You're
got to
fighting.
fight with Joe
I
Rogan
hope
coming
you're
up.
mad. You should choke me out. You know how to do that. You're
I think he's
trained.
gay doing enema and
you
wants to
got
get
black.
choked out by Joe Rogan. Like
Jiu-jitsu.
he wants Joe Rogan to
hope
give him
you
an
choke
enema
me
with
out.
Joe Rogan's tongue.
And if
It
you
looks
don't
like.
choke
I mean,
me
this
out,
guy.
these other limbs will be interesting. Should be very interesting. That's the PS. I already thought about my game plan. I don't have a plan. I'm not going to train. But I hope you've been training. And I'm ready whenever you're ready. If it's tomorrow, that will be great. Let's do it as soon as possible. If it's not tomorrow, then just whenever you're ready.
Tiger King, the enemas go up your butt, not your brain, dude. I don't know what's going on with you. You're obviously on some sort of, barbiturate or some sort of pharmaceutical thing that's making you out of touch with reality. But it's a sad, fall from grace for the once most popular guy on social media for a little while is now just actually freaking out, challenging Joe Rogan to fights that don't even exist. That's really sad. All right, shout out to, and now he's gay doing enemas. Yeah, so don't stick stuff up your butt,
That's
Rudy.
what happens when you don't eat your greens.
Does he? I think he's back to eating vegetables now. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a video of him eating Whataburger. Okay, what do you think about WNBA real quick?
Yeah, they're cool.
I know, it's finally good. I like the Barbie brawl. Let's play shot number 4 real quick. So this is our girl, Sophie Cunningham, taking out one of the girls that have been talking crap to Caitlin Clark. And see, the WNBA sucks. None of these girls can make a damn layup. So this is actually entertaining. I hope every game is like the NHL. They just allow fighting. You know, that's how they save the league. They need more of these ladies brawling.
Yeah.
And Sophie Cunningham, she's had a big evolution. Let's go to full screen 13. Is this her? Is this? She really has. Looks like she's had. Do you think she's had work done? What do you think that is, Rudy? How do you think she looks?
She went to college.
I think this is her transformation while she's been in the pros.
She looks pretty.
She looks good. All right. Well,
young.
Good for her. Okay.
Does it start that way and then ends that way?
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. She looks younger.
Yeah, in a way she does. Okay, so that was good. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Jimmy did a cringe video. How many views do you think that video will get? Do you think it'll break 10,000 views, Jimmy's video?
Probably like 1 million.
Oh my gosh, I would love it. We need that for the channel. And this is Angel Reese, 50% off box. Okay, now before we go, a frequent guest of the show, Unk607 or 607 Unk, recently quit the No Jumper podcast. Can we please play shot number 8?
So I just got off the phone with 607 Unk, and he no longer wants to be part of No Jumper. This is like the most unpredictable dude I've ever met in my life, because I thought that he was just like down for all the bullshit. But I guess when 4Extra told him off camera that he was going to kill him, he took it as like a bad omen on some like witchcraft or voodoo or whatever the fuck his religion thing is. So he's saying that he's no longer on the Tuesday show. So tomorrow, I don't know. I'm still honestly going to keep trying to get him to pull up, just so we can at least maybe have like one final conversation on camera before he rides off into the sunset. But yeah, this has been a very hectic couple of weeks, and there's part of me that wants him to stay, and there's another part of me that is just like, okay, get the fuck out of here. You're a little too much. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Well, we love 607 Unk. We hope to see him back on the show. And Charleston White won his boxing match. So shout out Charleston White winning the championship.
Yeah.
Risk promos. We love Charleston White.
Hey, Charles.
So a lot of dramas going on in the primetime blimp universe. So want to keep you guys up to date with everything that's happening, constantly changing. But before we end the show, Rudy, I got something big this Sunday. We got a great show at Hyenas Comedy Club. That's right. Rudy's already texting me trying to open up. Should we let Rudy open up, chat, after that dismal performance? Should we give Rudy a time to redeem himself? Let's ask the chat. And we asked the chat if you're cooked. It was like 69% said, yes, you are cooked.
Oh, fuck.
So.
Fuck.
Are you going to still try to sign up for Kill Tony?
Yeah. This time I'm more prepared. I'll be
okay, you'll be more prepared. Well, this Sunday,
I'll have a
maybe you can
haircut
practice some of your jokes. I think Jimmy's going to be there. We got a bunch of people. So if you're in the area, please, we want to see you at the show this Sunday. I got a big event that I'm doing next week in Tampa, so I'll be running through my speech for Tampa at this event and doing some new jokes and saying some off-color stuff that probably could land us in some metaphorical hot water. And, you know, I can't wait to see you guys all there. Now, chat, before we go, tomorrow we have a great show. We have the PETA representative from Tiger King, from the actual series, to talk about Joe Exotic's pardon, and we're going to have Joe Exotic call in as well. And we're having in studio
Aaron Wrights.
Aaron Wrights, who's running for Attorney General of Texas. So that should be an entertaining episode. And then we have a good episode on Thursday as well. So be on the lookout for that. Other than the comedy show, I'm going to be in Tampa on July 9th, so you'll be able to come see me there live. And Rudy, what do you got before we go? Tell the people how they can find you and support you.
Check me out on Rudy versus Comedy on Instagram, and just follow me. Check me out. I'll be posting my son on there. Fuck yeah.
Wait, what?
I'll be posting my son on there.
Do not what?
Fuck
But
yeah.
Your whole comedy is that you're the drunk dad. Maybe let's not. Maybe don't post.
Should I lean into it more? Like maybe
You think you
post
should
pictures.
double down on it? Like
Yeah,
put
like post
of your
pictures with him
son
like
holding
beer
a
on
40?
it. Yeah.
Actually, now that actually could be funny. Oh, actually, real quick before, do you have your speech that you might say real quick?
Yeah.
Just whip it out.
It's because my girlfriend kicked me out now, so
Or-
I've been sleeping in my car. But yeah, I got you.
So chat, I want to see your reaction. Give us ones if you like us. Give us like twos if you don't. Rudy, start reading a little bit of the first paragraph. I want to get the chat's reaction.
Scene. Yo, listen up. My name is Rudy. I'm from El Salvador. I'm scared as hell. I'm begging you to save my behind, or my ass. I need amnesty or I'm dead. Long story short, I was a bookie for the cartel and a bunch of them bet on the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA championship. I thought there's no way Chet Homogrode, goofy ass, can win a chip. So I spent all their money on LED rims and a above ground pool and a life-size statue of Bukele, El Salvador's most famous celebrity. But now that the Pacers blew it in the finals, I owe these murderers $69,000. El Salvador is a shithole full of bloodthirsty thugs. My ex-girlfriend and baby mama Maria rolls with these cartel gang members, sick freaks who chop me up and eat me over a Waffle House breakfast bowl. If I go back, I'm toast. And I don't want to be an absent father, but it's hard to be a present father if you're dead. You okay with that, you rich white people? I spilled my guts on a comedy podcast, Kill Tony, last week, and the comment section is crapping on me for being a bad father.
Okay, all right. Pause. What the chat says he's pretty cooked, Jimmy. I see a lot of twos. What do you think?
It's pretty split right now.
I don't know if he needs to read that. I don't know. I mean, what is the chat thinking? Chat, should he read that? We should maybe have right.
What's the chat saying?
I don't know. There's a
Come
lot
on,
of twos.
chat. Let me see. Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat. Chat, let's see. Dubs.
Well, you have to remember, it's so much different in front of
maybe
city
if I had
council.
like a tequila shot, maybe they'd like be like, all right, let's.
I don't even know. I'm tired. All right, guys, that's been our show. Everybody go follow Rudy. I want to say thank you to the Congresswoman Lauren Boebert from Colorado. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Everybody go support all of her future endeavors and campaigns. And like I said, we got great shows all week. We end the show the same way every time with a free self-analysis. So DJ, hit that beat. Yo, I'm flowing on the show. Now you got to go. Rudy Ventura. He bombed on stage, causing rage. Hits his kid in the head. We don't want his kid to be dead. We're calling CPS. Cause Rudy's not the best father. He should have had a daughter so the mother could have raised it. Now it's gonna be a bad kid with a deadbeat dad that's bombing on Kill Tony. And the kid's eating government baloney and it's struggling to read. So hopefully none of that happens. Hopefully Rudy gets famous from Kill Tony and he can support that baby and he can support us. And make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know we got over 1,000 people watching, so hit that like button. I love you guys. Peace. Good night.